why do you care so much? It's just a game, and also it's quick play. It's not like we're losing ranking on it like in competitive.
I do agree. However, I also think sometimes you care too much about what they say to you, because like they're just some stranger. I mean, like, can you imagine having so little going on that you're messaging random people on Marvel Rivals because you're mad? If anything, I'd feel bad for these people.
And I never message anybody. Like, I see some people who do terrible in a match, and instead of being a mean person, I think, oh, well, maybe they're a kid, or maybe they just are playing the game for the very first time, or maybe they're trying out a new character because we're in quick play, you know? So I think, like, I'm just not going to bother them.
Yeah,
why would I need to?
Yeah, why do it?
It wouldn't make anybody happy in the situation. It wouldn't make anything better.
It won't have made them play better.
No. It would just hurt somebody's feelings, and I would leave angry.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people do that in the first place.
I'm telling you, it's because they don't... It was 4 or 5 a.m. We should have been asleep.
Yeah.
Those people admitted it was 5 a.m. because I saw someone on the team say, like... Basically, I'm going to repeat what I said because there was some notification that came up. There was somebody who basically said, wow, sweats are on at 5 a.m. They were talking about the other team that was winning. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There's 2 teams.
No, I understand.
Okay, well, you're looking at me like
I wasn't looking at you. I was watching
You were
the
like
TV.
this.
No, I was watching the TV.
I thought you were going to start making Tim Allen noise.
Please continue what you were saying.
So they admitted that it was 5 a.m. And they're on moaning about the game at 5 a.m. instead of sleeping.
Yeah.
And now we have a bad sleep schedule. I'm not justifying that, but at least I'm not messaging people.
Yeah, at least we're not messaging people being mean about it. It's like...
I'm just living my life in a bad way.
Yeah, like,
and I'm leaving you alone.
I feel like you should be able to play at 5 a.m. for fun without being a dick. Like, also, those people were on at 5 a.m. too, so doesn't that make them sweats?
Point. That was my exact point. My point was, they're on at 5 a.m. complaining.
Yeah, about other people being on at 5 a.m.
But then they're also complaining about you.
Yeah. Like, did you guys just have, like, a really rough day? Did your mommy yell at you that you were up too late or something?
Okay, they're not in the chat right now. You can settle down.
I'm not being too loud!
No, you're getting too worked up. You're getting emotional. They're not going to hear you. But
Yeah,
long story short, there's a lot of weird people on this game.
I just think there's a lot of, like, really mean people, and I don't understand why. It's supposed to be a fun game, you know?
If you did this phase when she did Pure Chaos, would you survive it? Like the other one. If the other one did Pure Chaos and then you phased while it was going off,
no.
Would it not hit you?
No, I think that, I don't think it would hit me.
Okay, because it makes you invulnerable, right?
I'm pretty sure she's invulnerable when she does that.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Am I not wording things correctly today for you to understand them or something?
Well, you said phase, and I didn't understand what you meant by phase. I usually call it, like, flying away.
Oh. Well...
Like when she turns around and flies away.
When someone... You've never heard the term phasing?
No, I've heard that term. It's just I didn't think about it when it came to this, and... Like, when you said phase, I thought, like, what do you mean phase? Like, what?
Were you thinking about the Call of Duty clan?
Yeah, definitely, phase? Yeah.
I think that a lot of people take this game more seriously than I do.
Yeah, I don't like that people are so mean, because it makes it not as fun. And I feel like people are going to be mean to people who play as Emma now, too, because they're going to be like, well, but you're just gooning to her because you play as Emma.
Right, I know. Well, that's why it's so weird, that controversy, because it's like, this is a character from the comics, everyone was fine with it, you're now not, what do we care? Like, why should anyone care what you're saying about it? I think with these characters, too, there's been way too much attempt to make people happy. That sucks.
Yeah, I got killed.
There's been way too much attempt to make people happy with these characters and, like, tone them down or change them. And yet, then you got, like, a character like Spider-Man, who editorial doesn't care at all about making people happy, and I'm kind of like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing where there's so many things where people have changed them to try to appease the lowest common denominator of person. Always offended.
It's because they want to be woke.
Perpetually upset. Nothing going on. And yet then other times, people who care about these characters, like Spider-Man readers, they'll talk about Spider-Man and they'll say, hey, why is he getting cucked every other issue? Why is I'm honestly at the point with Spider-Man where I'm like, I don't even care if he gets back together with Mary Jane. Leave it in the past. He gave that up. It was part of his responsibility. Do you know why he gave it up? Do you know? Because Aunt May was dying.
Oh,
she was going to die because he revealed his identity in Civil War, and so people were trying to kill his family. So his thing was, please save her and make people forget. And it wasn't Doctor Strange doing it like in the movie, it was Mephisto.
Yeah.
And Mephisto said, fine, but I don't want your soul, I want your love. And so that's what it was he gave that up. Now,
so he gave up being with Mary Jane?
Yes. He gave up their marriage. And their potential child and all this stuff. Now, was it a dumb thing to do that was very clearly because of editorial?
Yeah.
Yes. However, it could have fit the character. It could have still fit. Spider-Man gave up what he loved the most because he wanted to save people. That could still fit the character. However, there's been so much character assassination since it that it's like, who cares anymore about Mary Jane? Who cares anymore about any of this stuff in that continuity? And I'm at the point where I'm like, just put him with Black Cat. But Black Cat and him have gotten back together 3 times in the last...
broken up, too.
In the last couple of years. As a rebound. And for all I know, they're not together again because I'm not buying Amazing Spider-Man anymore. It's garbage.
Yeah, I don't know what the point is of getting them back together just to break them up.
But I would actually read the book. I'm not kidding. I would buy the book again if it was like they wrote Mary Jane out and she's done. She's gone, and she just moves on with her life. It sucks, because she was the Lois Lane to his Superman. But whatever. Sometimes these things happen and they suck in stories.
Yeah, I think I would have been happy if they'd have just been able to get back together. But Marvel Comics has that rule where you can't get MJ and Peter back together and get them married.
So you're half right on the rule. The rule is you can't get them married. You can get them back together. You just can't marry them. And it can't be permanent. It's a stupid rule. It's a stupid rule, but it can't be permanent.
I don't understand why they have that rule.
And what's the point of a relationship if no relationship can be permanent?
Yeah.
What's the point of, I should say, as a reader, what's the point of being invested in a relationship if no relationship you're invested in can ever be permanent? Because, you did what I asked you, if you could do. What would be the point of that? There would be no point.
Yeah.
Why read anything where death is never permanent, relationships are never permanent?
Well, it just makes the story boring.
Growth is never permanent.
I don't understand why they don't just start a new mainline Spider-Man comic, because you said that storyline's been going on since the 60s, that specific comic run.
Yeah.
And it's well, why don't they just start fresh and make a new one and have new stuff happen? Because it's it's getting kind of old,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's very little in the last 10 years I can think of that's even worth reading from Spider-Man. There's a couple of tie-ins. Like I said, there's Venom more, I think is pretty good. There's, he's in Absolute Carnage, if I remember right. Stuff like that. So, events. But in terms of his actual comics, the last mainline Spider-Man comic I remember really enjoying was Superior, and it's not even about Peter.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because it's Doc Ock in his body.
It's about Ock.
Yeah.
And that's the last mainline Spider-Man comic I remember reading that I was like, wow, this is really good. There was a few issues where there was a Spider-Verse event. That was good, too. But again, it's an event, right? So that you see what I'm saying? There's not much.
I love
She's
that
so
MVP
pretty
screen.
there.
Yeah.
There's not much there.
32 and 2 is pretty good.
That is worth enjoying.
I wanted to mention, this is off topic, but I'm a little annoyed that with this new update, they buffed Moon Knight's ultimate.
Yeah, there was no point to do that.
Why did they do that? They made it a second longer, they made more of those, blades come out from the sky, and so that basically means it does
You
more
want to show
damage.
Moon Knight?
Yeah.
You did a Moon Knight match.
And so,
24-0, by the way.
Here's the thing, I really like playing as Moon Knight a lot, actually. I really like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that he's overpowered, and I don't understand why they buffed him. And then they made some characters worse. They made Magneto even worse than before. They debuffed him. And it's why?
He was garbage.
He's still garbage.
I think that you should at some point get that MCU Moon Knight.
Maybe, but we don't have the money for it.
Well, yeah, I know. But at some point, I think it'd be cool to have. Plus,
did I get MVP? Is this match or no?
You could, I don't remember, you could wait 10 years and earn enough credits for it.
Ooh, 10 years.
Because that's how long it'll take, even though players acted like you can get it quicker.
Maybe we can get another costume coin.
Yeah.
I got that Squirrel Girl skin with that costume coin, and then I paid the 500, 500 units for the, MVP and stuff.
Did we ever show off this map? How cool it is?
Yes, we did.
With Squirrel Girl's house.
So. But let's show upstairs, too.
I love the little things. One thing people were complaining about that I agree with, see Doctor Strange there? Mm-hmm. One thing people were complaining about is why were there all these teases for Blade, and now Blade's not coming to the game yet?
Well, maybe he's coming during the half season or something.
Maybe, but everyone was like, you teased Blade all season, and then you're like, Emma Frost! And it's kind of... This was kind of
weird.
This was a weird season in general because they teased Blade, they teased all this dark vampirism type stuff.
Yeah, and Dracula.
And then what they ended up doing was saying, the Fantastic Four is here. Yeah. Wasn't it kind of a weird...
It was kind of odd, but I was still hoping they'd do stuff with Blade and Dracula. Because I really like Dracula a lot. Like, a lot. Like, I love him. What did I... Well, oh, that's an 8. I was saying, why was I doing that to Jeff?
I don't know, maybe you have a Jeff thing.
But then I realized, it's an 8, and I was being mean to Nate.
How does that mean? It's just bonding, team bonding.
That's true, it was bro bonding.
I don't know how many more we want to show of you, but I really wanted to show a match I did with the new orange Venom skin.
Oh yeah, that skin's really cool. You'll have to show that next.
I don't think I did as well as this, but I think I did something like 24 and 2 or something.
What did I get during this match? Like 20-something?
Yeah, and you get 0 deaths. You don't,
Wait, really?
According to the thing, you don't die, so we'll see. But
wow, I guess we're gonna find out. Jeez.
Is this too loud for you, by the way?
No. No.
Okay. Yeah, I was making sure, because sometimes I can't hear certain things. I think that with Moon Knight, though...
I think he's overpowered.
He is. Yeah, I think he is, too.
But he didn't need a buff.
No.
People are already too good as him.
Well done, my son.
Well, and every time I see some team doing bad, have you noticed how almost every time now someone switches to Moon Knight and then starts doing the Moon Haunts You?
Yeah, and then it's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they start covering the objective with... What is that? The Curse of Khonshu or something?
Yeah, and they put down the Ox and stuff, which also help damage people.
Oh, alright, you can't do it there. I thought I could pull up the move list. I forgot it's...
Oh, yeah, no, you can't do that in this.
Probably should record this match normally, too.
His ultimate is called the Hand of Khonshu.
Oh, okay.
I like when he says, leave them to Khonshu.
This is another
look,
really...
see how quickly I got that, by the way? It's still the beginning of the match, and look.
I do see. I wanted to show you something, or show everyone something. One thing I really like about this, and it reminds me of some old Call of Duty games like Ghosts, is that the maps change.
I love it. It's really cool.
A lot of these maps will change, stuff like that. It gets kind of glitchy if you're like where Hulk is.
Yeah.
But it rebuilt this castle.
Yeah, I know.
It
it's
totally
really cool.
changed the map. And then you got stuff going on up there, too.
Are they going to get rid of this tomorrow, like for next season? Because I really like this map a lot.
I don't know.
And I feel like they need more variety in the map, so I think it'd be silly to get rid of it, don't you?
I doubt they will.
I sure hope not.
I don't know. I doubt it. That would be silly.
It would be silly.
I mean, I know Overwatch did that sometimes with their seasonal stuff, but Overwatch, I feel like they had more maps in general, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Oh, look, the most useless move in the game.
See, I just got a quad kill just from doing that.
I want to point out that Venom Super only takes out like 300 health from
Venom
whoever it
Super
is.
is awful.
Awful thing. But then this will get a quad kill.
Yeah,
when you're just haphazardly throwing it where people are.
You can only damage people with Venom Super if you have them like in the mouth when he shoots up and bites them, by the way. Like, you can't even really get multiple people very easily with that. They'd have to be on top of each other for you to get multiples.
By the way, something I've been appreciating more and more as we play this game is the bod on Luna Snow.
I love Luna Snow so much.
I love her little dances.
I love her dance. It's so cute.
Although this one moved all over the place, but yeah.
Yeah, she did.
She's so cute.
I know. She's perfect.
People are calling her like an industry plant and saying that she's like a shitty character and stuff, but I think she's great.
What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her?
I guess because she's like a K-pop singer with like, you know, thick thighs, good butt, skinny waist. She's like... basically an idol. I mean, she's a...
I think Marvel needed a K-pop idol on the team, though. Like,
I think
they
it's
didn't
fun.
have any.
I think it's fun.
I'm just saying, like, it's a really cool idea to have, like, a K-pop idol superhero.
Well, everybody, it's back to the Emma Frost thing. Everyone just complains.
Yeah, especially about the women characters, of course. And people are really mad that they gave Emma Frost, like, blonde hair and a white and blue outfit, because it's similar to Cloak and Dagger and Sue Storm's again. But, like, I don't understand why they didn't do the skin for her that, like, everybody knows and loves, where she's wearing her white outfit with her long white hair. I kind of feel like that would have been better, and then people wouldn't have been so mad that she looks too similar to the other characters. However, I don't think you could get her mixed up with the other characters because she's so tall and so big. Like, her character model is way different from Sue and Cloak and Dagger's. You know?
I think that the Emma Frost discourse is just stupid.
I think people are just mad for no reason.
Well, have you also seen people calling her a snow bunny?
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense.
Which, a snow bunny is a white woman who prefers to date black men.
Yeah.
And...
people call Sue that, too, and it doesn't make sense.
I don't even know if she's ever dated a black man.
No, she does. She hasn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
In fact, you probably could call her racist with how much she hates Namor.
Wow, okay.
I'm just joking. Another quad kill.
And she wasn't in Wakanda Forever, so...
That's true.
The movie.
Just saying. I'm just saying. She's not a snow bunny. Cloak and Dagger is, though. Dagger definitely is. Because she loves Cloak.
Although...
A.k.a. Tyrone.
Although, she was definitely into Peter Parker, who was in his 20s when he was hitting on her back in the old
Yeah, but we all
comics.
know she would have been more into Miles.
Wow. Okay.
Just saying.
Rude.
That poor other team. Look, they only got one kill on their team out of everybody.
Yeah, because they had a bully in their midst.
Was I the bully?
Yeah.
Was I MVP? Oh my
Playing
gosh,
the
I was.
cheapest character out there. Great,
I was a bully.
awesome character.
I
but-
was so mean. I'm pretty sure that match is the very first time I ever played as Moon Knight, by the way.
And this is, I don't think it was the first time.
No, it was. I'm
Really?
pretty sure it was.
This is the one that I was saying I think you should get at some point.
How much is it?
Too much. It's like 2,400.
Oh, it's only
no, it's
1,600.
1,400.
We can afford that.
We're not going to buy that.
Buy it.
No.
Buy it now.
Maybe you'll earn stuff to
The
get.
Hand of Khonshu.
No.
Khonshu demands it.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's really cool.
People really didn't like this version of the character, though, the MCU.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't really watch the show. I just watched some clips of it, but they said it erased some of... Now, if this is true, it's dumb. They said it erased some of the Jewish aspects of the character, which is a core part of who he was.
But I thought people hated Jewish people right now.
Well, there is that, isn't there?
So wouldn't that make him better in the eyes of certain
People who complain on Twitter?
Especially like the U of M people, wouldn't they
Oh,
watch that?
no.
Wouldn't they watch that and be like, yeah, screw the Jews?
All right, well, let's move on from that comment.
I'm
But
just
you are
saying.
right.
I'm just saying.
When's the last time we talked about the U of M thing?
I think we talked about it in a different Let's Play recently.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, was it in GTA?
Yeah, we talked about it in GTA. You could talk about it here, though.
Well, it's the briefest thing ever. Basically, just there's a lot of hate crimes going on there.
To Jewish people.
They're not really calling them hate crimes, but they're very clearly hate crimes, where it's basically just going after people who are Jewish and calling them Zionists, even if they're not. They're just a Jewish student.
And they have nothing to do with, like, the Palestine-Israel conflict, no matter how you feel about that. Those people who are at the U of M who are Jewish have nothing to do with it. But people are hurting them and being mean to them and bullying them and stuff because they're Jewish because of that conflict going on.
Can I move to my account?
Yes.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Got some good matches there.
Isn't that weird, though? Like, why would you... I just don't understand, like, why you'd bully all Jewish people just because you're upset about the conflict going on in different countries right now.
I don't know.
Like, the American Jewish people have nothing to do with that.
No.
Like, they just want to be Jewish in peace.
Some of them don't even want to be Jewish. They were just born Jewish, and that's... some people are not even, like, embracing their Jewish identity. They're just... That's their race.
Yeah.
That's their ethnicity or whatever.
Yeah, like, they're not even religiously Jewish.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and it's weird because a family member of mine goes to U of M, and they've had, like, so many run-ins with just insane people that are just mean-spirited and weird.
Mm-hmm. Good thing that family member's not Jewish.
Yeah, no, that's true, but they still notice it. Wait, when you're on the main menu, can you click those weird, like, icons?
I don't know.
Okay, thanks. Let's see. Can I show my... Oh, yeah. I want to show this. I thought this was cool that I got. Mm-hmm. And there was a whole thing where you could spend $3 and you could get a Venom skin. I don't know if it's still... Oh, it doesn't show up anymore because I finished it.
Where's the drink?
Do you really need it right now when I'm talking?
I'm thirsty. Lemonade!
Remember, we need to leave pauses every once in a while in these because of how YouTube does their algorithmic...
Well, then be quiet.
Are you serious? I wanted to show everyone this because I thought it was a very cool hero emblem thing. And here is the skin that you can get, or could get at least at the time, for Venom.
Cool.
Which is hyper orange.
That's awesome. And what do you think it's a reference to, Schmoopy?
Well, I think it's a reference to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Or Marvel vs. Capcom in general, where you could have this orange type of look. But they say that it first appears in Marvel Rivals Season 1, so I don't know.
Maybe they just didn't want to mention Capcom.
Maybe because
maybe Capcom would get all pissy about it.
Well, because the blue Venom that they have that I can't get right now, but people got if they were part of the beta, was also famously from Marvel vs. Capcom.
I feel like they should let people buy that blue one eventually.
I do too.
I would spend money on it. And as we all know, Marvel loved money.
I also think that they should put in the Venom from the Sony universe for a skin. So look at this. This is the Venom I'm talking about. Look, this emote.
This is very
This
sexual.
isn't sexual?
Yeah.
There's hearts appearing. There's hearts in his
package.
eyes. He's humping.
Yeah.
And he's twerking.
But if Emma Frost did this, there would be an outrage.
And yet there's complaints that they don't sexualize men in this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this Venom skin is super cool. Reminds me of Carnage, actually.
It's very, very cool. I'm glad you like it, because you were a big fan of Marvel vs. Capcom back in the day, weren't you?
Yeah.
Somebody keeps messaging your Discord, and I'm going to kill them.
Whoa, okay.
Well, why are you so popular right now?
I don't know. This was also something I got from this, although this is creepy.
It kind of looks like a penis.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think that when it comes down to it with this one, or for this skin and this character and stuff, I feel like they've wanted to leave something there for people who did the beta in a way where they're trying to say, oh, well, you should have done the beta, or, oh, here's your, reward for doing it. But to me, it kind of just pissed me off.
Yeah.
It kind of just annoys me.
Wasn't it a closed beta? Like, didn't you have to be invited?
It might have been open, I don't know. But either way, I still think it's kind of dumb, to have this skin that only people could get into before this game even released, and no one knew if the game would be good.
I was under the impression you could only get in it, like, if you were invited to it.
And you might be right, I just don't know. But either way, it's still dumb.
I tell you what, and I tell you twice, too.
Well, the game wasn't even released. No one knew the game would be good.
That's true. I thought it was going to be terrible. Like, I genuinely only tried it because I thought, well, I like Marvel, but I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be fun. And then I loved it.
I don't know what happened there. Did you see that?
Yeah, it glitched. I love this window. I've never gotten up here before. That's really cool. Can you jump out of it?
No, but you can look out it, and you can use it essentially to plan out who is going to be on the other team.
That's cool.
So a lot of times the other team doesn't come over here at the beginning because characters like Venom and Spider-Man and Iron Man can get up here and then they can look out to try to see, all right, well, who's on the other team, and then they can decide to switch against.
However, you can see the outlines of them coming, so you can tell they have Penny over there. They've got
You can now. I don't think you can in the in the normal match.
I guess I don't know.
I don't think you can see them before you first encounter them.
Sometimes you can see outlines of characters behind walls in this game, but I don't know why or when or what the deal is with that,
It's because you're a casual.
That's true. I am.
It's because you don't play competitive 24/7.
Baby balls.
Alright, now let's not be mean. Everybody's got their name.
Why is that person named Baby Balls?
One mistake I see people make a lot with Venom, by the way, is not ever using his melee. And it's something I try to remember, but I don't always.
I didn't know he had a melee.
You press the right stick in, everyone has a melee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Everyone has a punch at close range.
Oh, that's interesting. I know Soup can slap people, which is kind of funny.
So that's my melee, punching.
That's cool.
And then this is just shooting. And so the difference is essentially that you shoot out tendrils when you're shooting, right? But when you are punching, you're actually hitting with your fists and like that, or with your mouth, and then it makes it so that you can actually do damage at close range. Because otherwise, it becomes way too hard to do. Because you get to a point where people will be able to avoid your tendrils, and then you're just wasting your time.
I've been trying to get this achievement that's extremely hard to get, where you have to play as Loki and you have to get a KO while stabbing somebody in the back with his melee attack. And it is so hard to do because a lot of people don't really die to the backstab that you do. Like, I stabbed a Penny Parker in the back, I'm not kidding, like 5 or 6 times, and she didn't die, even though she was really low on health. And I'm really upset that, whoa, my goodness, what are you doing to me? I was really upset because I really want that achievement, because I'm trying to get, like, most of the achievements, maybe not all of them, but a decent amount, especially because they give you, like, things for getting them. You know, like free things.
Yeah.
Free units, what are they called? They're called units, not coins in this game, right?
I think so.
Something like that.
I actually thought about installing this game eventually on PlayStation and getting most of the trophies.
That would be fun.
The only problem is I wouldn't have any of the seasons or anything.
Yeah, well, you could still play.
True, yeah.
And a lot of the trophies are decently easy to get with certain characters. Like Moon Knight's trophy is extremely easy to get. Because it's like, you have to kill, I think, like 4 people with Hand of Khonshu. And...
you could do that instantly.
Yeah. It was super easy.
I kind of think that with games like this and Overwatch, no matter what platform you're on, you should be able to have an account. So you should have an account... oh, look at this. I just back up.
You see, I didn't even go out there because she was doing that.
Yeah. I think... that's...
that thing does nothing.
Yeah, this is the worst super.
It's the worst super ever. Like, it's borderline worse than Darkchild.
It looks cool, but that's it. So let's look at what health Moon Knight is at. Was that Moon Knight? Magneto.
I heard on Reddit some people who play as Magic don't even use the ultimate for Darkchild because it takes so long to transform and she's not invulnerable during it.
Jill's talking, so I can't say, but look at this health right here. Watch all that did. It took away half of Magneto's health, but no kill.
Yeah.
And everybody else avoided it.
Yeah.
This person was right here, still managed to avoid it.
Yeah.
Right here, got hit. Didn't even take this out, by the way. That's how bad it is.
Anyway, I was hearing on Reddit a lot of people who play as Magic don't use Darkchild, her ultimate, because it's like just not good. Because like even though you get a somewhat of a buff when you're in it, it's not enough to justify it, and it takes so long to transform that people do so much damage on you that you die almost instantly.
I think it would be good to do if you were around a corner.
That's true.
But not if you're in front of anyone. I've died just trying to do it.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why a lot of people say, like, if you're playing as Magic, just play as her normally. Like, her ultimate doesn't do jack shit. You're supposed to get a health boost every time you hit somebody with it, but it's not enough to make a difference, in my opinion. I do think Magic should have been one of the ones who got, like, an ultimate buff just because her ultimate is so trash. Like, somebody like Moon Knight didn't need it, but I feel like Magic is a really good all-around character, but her ultimate is so bad that it needed a little help. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see you giving her more health or something like that. I think her maybe speeding up the Darkchild transformation.
Yeah, I think that would help a lot.
Or what if you gave her invulnerability during it, like what Bruce gets?
Yeah.
Because Bruce Banner gets invulnerability when hulking out.
Yeah.
So I think those kinds of things would be helpful. If you buff her, I would make it so she can't teleport quite as often. Like maybe add a second to the teleport.
She can only do it twice in a row anyway.
Yeah, but she can do it pretty quick, and she
That's
can
true.
use it to get around like anybody.
That's true. She is very hard to play as.
Look at that, Loki. I couldn't even
Yeah, you
kill.
couldn't even kill Loki. She's very fun to play as and very good, but like she's really hard to learn, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it feels like every time I play as her, I'm terrible, but then when other people play as her, they're amazing.
Well, that's why I'm saying don't nerf her. I'm just saying if you start buffing her, you might have to add, you know, a second to something else.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful with that because they did that to. This is where you swing away. They had to do that to Mr. Fantastic, and it ruined him for like a month.
Yeah, now they're finally buffing him again and fixing it.
And now I actually see people play as him.
Yeah, now people are gonna play as him again, yeah.
Did you notice no one played as him for basically a month?
Yeah, I think they realized they fucked him up.
I never saw people play as him.
I know, it was so sad, because then when he first came out, everybody was playing as him, and then they nerfed him and nobody played as him for a while, and now people are finally bringing him back, and I'm so glad, because I really like Mr. Fantastic a lot. Mm-hmm. Especially because when you play him and you play Sue Storm, he gets like a healing thing.
Same with the Thing. And I'm sure Johnny does too, but I haven't really played much as Human Torch.
I haven't played much as him either. I like him, and I tried to play as him, but like, I don't know, he's just not, his playstyle's not for me, you know?
Nate liked him, but said that he felt like he was playing a worse Iron Man.
It does kind of feel like you're playing a worse Iron Man. However, the fireballs that you can shoot onto the ground are cool, and when people are good at it, it's really, really annoying to step on. But I just don't think that character is for me in this game, even though I like him as a character a lot.
Yeah, he's a really fun character, but I agree. And plus, if you can play as Iron Man and he has a little bit more control over his flight, and he's able to do a better super in general, and I would say that it's even easier as Iron Man, I think, to kill Human Torch than it is as Human Torch to kill Iron Man in the air.
However, at least the only thing that I think is good about Human Torch is it seems like it's not... he doesn't die tons and tons when you play as him because he's like in the air so much that it's hard for a lot of people to kill him. Yeah. You know, like I find myself a lot of times having a hard time shooting down the Human Torches because they're fast. Mm-hmm. Or at least too fast for me.
No,
Maybe I'm just bad.
They can be, but I would argue that Iron Man is equally
as annoying, yeah.
So my point is, if you can already do all of these things almost equally as Iron Man and some better, it makes it hard to want to play Human Torch.
Yeah.
Unless you're just a mega fan of the character, which is cool, but I don't know. I've had to give that up with certain characters. Like, I'm a mega Spider-Man fan from way back, not modern Spider-Man. And I don't play Spider-Man. Like, ever.
He's just not for us.
I'd love to get a good match as him eventually just for this Let's Play. Just see if I can.
I do think you should try him again sometime.
But his health is garbage. He relies on a playstyle of do a couple hits, then run away and hide. I just find him annoying, both to play as and against. He's annoying.
Yeah, he's really annoying to play against. And for some reason, every Spider-Man player goes for the healers, and every Iron Fist player goes for the healers. And I'm getting really sick of that.
There's also a trend online, unfortunately, to... Still didn't get a kill with that. I only got one after. There's also a trend online to use Spider-Man and see how quickly you can get a kill at the beginning of the match on, like, a healer, basically.
Really?
Like, to go all the way around.
Hey, I was MVP!
Yeah.
Nice! This episode is just a bunch of MVPs of Jill.
But yeah, it's basically like a trend now of, like, a Spider-Man insta-kill, where you try to swing all the way around the outside of the map, especially on that Hydra map, and then get to their spawn zone, get behind them, kill the person with the least amount of health, and then run away.
That's
and
stupid.
Then save it as a highlight to show it on TikTok.
That is really dumb.
Like a world record insta-kill thing. And it's so in character for the Spider-Man players.
Yeah,
because it's so
Spider-Man
annoying.
Players are awful.
It's so annoying. That's what it is.
They're so mean.
Yeah.
I feel like he attracts the worst of the drudges of society to play as him.
Isn't it Dredges?
Whatever it is.
What was this one?
Judge Dredges.
That's funny. I don't know. I think I might have shown off all of the ones I wanted to. I showed off the Punisher ones one time.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Pretty sure you did this page.
Yeah, even Mr. Fantastic. I think that's about it. I do want to say a couple things before this season ends, because this is the last time I think we'll get to look at this season.
I'm gonna miss this screen right here.
I was gonna say, I love the Fantastic Four stuff. I love how they show off the family aspect of them. Herbie's here. I really enjoyed Galacta's Cosmic Adventure.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I already completed it. But with all the little cute emotes and stuff like that.
I hope they put another thing like that in, because I really enjoyed it, and I liked being able to get a skin.
And this is actually where you got this from.
I heard the next event is going to have a free Mantis skin, and I'm extremely excited, because I love playing as Mantis.
They don't sexualize men in this game.
No, they don't.
I think Mantis is great. I was going to say, too, that overall, I think this season was pretty good.
Oh, they took down Mantis's health. I'm really annoyed about. They made her go from 275 to 250, and I don't feel like that was needed at all.
I think I showed this stuff, but you had the, kind of symbiote-themed Loki stuff. Rocket was a cool skin. The bounty on her Rocket. The Penny was cute. I like the way she looks. I like her robot.
Can you see we no-lifed this season?
Well, I mean, it was one... I don't think we did that.
I was just making a joke.
I didn't care for this, but it's neat.
I didn't care for that
Didn't
either.
care either, because I've never really cared for Namor. I always found him
thought
obnoxious.
this skin was really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a knight in shining armor.
Yeah, it's really cool. I thought this was cool, however, I don't really care much for Adam Warlock. I tried to play as him and didn't find it that fun.
Yeah, I don't find him fun either. I love this. This is one of my favorite skins in the game.
First appears in X-Men Hellfire Gala 2022, but then they're adding in another skin for her from another Hellfire Gala in next season. Isn't that interesting? So she's going to have 2 Hellfire Gala skins.
That is interesting. But I was really glad that you could actually get this through this season.
I know, I love it. I'm really excited for next season's Battle Pass. I've seen the leaks for it. It looks pretty decent to me.
And I thought in general the stuff with her was really good. I thought this Wolverine, where he's almost like a vampire hunter, is cool.
Awesome.
Look, and he even talks about how Dracula's messed with the people I care about for far too long.
Yeah, I know. That one's really cool.
And
I love his red claws there.
I know. It was so neat. But see, this is what I'm saying, is this feels to me like a Halloween season.
It does.
And it feels to me like this is not a season for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. It was kind of odd, but I'm okay with it because I love vampires. But I do think that they probably should have introduced Blade during this season if they were going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, in general, it's like the Fantastic Four stuff just kind of felt like it was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And I was going to say that even though I don't like the prices, because I do think they're too much, and people arguing, oh, you could just earn it, it takes too long to earn it.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to do.
Like, and there is a limited number of these challenges, you know?
To get the coins from.
It's not like they're infinite. So those are limited, and you can obviously get this end season thing.
You're almost at that, by the way. We should play a little bit tonight before this ends.
That would be a good idea.
That way we can get 100.
Yeah, I probably should.
We need to do that like before midnight, because I don't know when they're gonna change it, but I'd say probably around midnight or a little after.
And we got
a yonder over there?
I wanted to say really quick that even though I don't like the prices, I've actually liked most of the skins they've added in.
I think most of the skins they've added in have been really, really awesome.
They actually have a lot of character to them.
Dream job to be the designer for the skins in this game. I wish I could be her. I want to be that person who designs the skins so badly.
I do have a couple of gripes with some of them, though. Which would be, I don't like that certain ones don't follow the comics. I mean, you're allowed to switch things, obviously. Emma Frost, though, that's like a huge departure from the comics. And I like her, but I like it, but I'm just saying it's a totally different.
However, we are assuming that she's gonna get some comic book skins.
Right, which is good. But if they made Magic the most buff girl ever, it also wouldn't really look like Magic. So I understand hardcore Emma Frost comics fans who are maybe like, I wish that she looked more like the comic, but I still like how she looks.
I am really sexually into girls with big thighs, so I'm okay with it.
That makes sense. I like both, you know? Like, I like girls like this, and I like girls like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't really bother me, but I get why some people were off-put by it. That's cool.
That is really cool.
I would say where I'm off-put by it is when it just is a complete departure from the style of the comics, like the Venom Space Knight. I think it's very cool still, but I think this looks very different than the versions of this in the comic books.
Well, this looks like that one version you showed me that,
Kind
like,
of.
wasn't that great. But then there's a different version of Space Knight Venom that's actually really cool, and this looks nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like the one from around this time.
Yeah.
But I feel like the other one looks way better, which is just from the Venom Space Knight run.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay with certain things like this. This is obviously Superior Iron Man, but it doesn't look exactly like he did in the comics.
But it's still really cool.
And it still preserves the spirit of that look. And that's fine.
I love that they show you where the inspiration came from, like, first appears in Superior Iron Man 2014. So, like, you could look up that comic and go see the picture that they used to, like, try and make this.
Yeah,
I think that's really fun.
Or go see if you want to read it.
Yeah.
You know, another way to get people
Does
into
this one
comics.
say, what's this say? Appears in Marvel Studios Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah!
Yep, and
That's really cool!
Look, it even has that right there.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I was going to say overall, though, I do like most of the skins. I wouldn't buy most of them, because I do think that having to pay, like, $20 for a video game skin is too much. Just in general, because I can...
you should pay the $5.64 for that stuff, though.
Maybe I will eventually, because I got the costume coin, so I got this Eldritch armor.
I feel like getting the costume coin and then only having to pay 500 something for the rest is a pretty decent deal. However, I think the costume coin should have just given you
The bundle.
the bundle entirely instead of making you pay $5.64 for the rest of it. I guess they're not making you, but it's kind of like lame to not get the MVP thing with the skin that you got, you know?
No, I know, and I get that, and I think it's very cool. It's just I was waiting to see, because I don't like blowing my money on microtransactions.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to see what was in the next season, and instead
Well, you
of just
have
spending...
enough.
Right, and then I'm out.
Oh.
Then I don't have enough for anything next season. If there's like a new cool skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I see.
I was gonna say though, I do think they're cool skins. I just think that they cost too much money and you don't earn quite enough.
Yeah.
And I find people on their knees for this game a little weird online. I've seen people say like, "Oh, well, you earn these skins." When? When do you earn these skins? It's very difficult to.
I think the people saying that are just people with better jobs than us.
You mean like you think they just buy it and then say they earned it?
Yeah, they probably buy it and they're like, well, I earned it by working a couple hours at my job.
Well, no, but they're saying you earn it in the game.
Yeah, I know, but like, you know what I mean? I was just making a joke.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying that they say they earn it through the game.
I love that skin. I love her so much.
It's very cool.
I actually have that skin.
That's one I'd like to. I just think that it would be nice if there was a way to make a little bit more. Like a little bit more in-game currency.
You want to be done?
Yeah, and I also want to know what the heck the point is of these things.
I don't really know.
They're cool, but are they just lore items?
I don't know. I'm
'Cause
sure
here's
we'll
the
find
cuckold.
out. I'm sure we'll find out eventually.
The Celestial Codex. Sorry, I was just saying goodbye to the season.
That makes sense.
Because apparently I'm not allowed to do that, though.
Oh, are you wanting to show off like the comic books? You can.
I thought it was cool.
No, I know. They're so cool.
I really like this stuff. I
Look
think
at
it's
the
neat. You can even
pictures.
see full screen versions of it.
Wow.
Okay, I think it's cool.
I think it's cool too. I'm just picking on you.
I don't know.
I like
Hopefully,
that picture.
this
and that
one?
picture, yeah.
I was trying to go quickly because you were being a jerk.
Hurry up, hurry up,
Yep,
hurry up,
it's just
hurry up.
chop, chop.
Chop, chop.
Chop, chop, comic
Next
boy.
picture. Next picture. Yeah, all
And
done
there you
with
go.
that.
There's Doom, who's not even in this season.
Look, Dracula.
Where's Dracula?
Right there.
This is Doom.
No, down.
Oh, no, that's not Dracula.
Who's that?
That's Charles. He hangs out with Doom. He's just his friend.
Oh, okay. Dude
And then-
wasn't in last season either, was he?
He was mentioned a lot in the very first one.
Yeah, but he, like, didn't...
It didn't feel like he was a focus, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know, but somehow he is.
Okay.
So, I don't know. We'll probably be back with more of this soon.
Doom.